This is Fox 26 Morning News at 9 a.m. Connected to you.
Welcome back, everybody. You know, buying your Christmas gifts online is certainly easier than battling the crowds at the malls. We saw John Donnelly out there at the mall in Sugar Land, but scammers are trying all new kinds of creative ways to rip you off this holiday season, so we want to protect you. Here to highlight the 12 scams or issues that you should be aware of when it comes to your computer is cybersecurity expert Michael Gregg. Michael, we appreciate the time. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So we're going to run down the 12 things that people need to know about their computers. The first is their antivirus software. What do they need to know?
What people need to know on that is they need to make sure and keep their antivirus up to date and current. And even if you've spent a lot of funds today maybe on shopping, there are a lot of choices out there such as AVG and Avast, which are free, so there's no reason why you can't have it.
Okay, number two, make sure the operating system, your Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, RIM is fully updated, as well as your browser.
Yeah, that's so important today because so many of the attacks target vulnerabilities in the operating systems. So anytime anything's found, you need to patch that operating system right away. Or if you use a common operating system like Windows, just set it for automatic updates, and that's taken care of.
When it comes to a smartphone, there are thousands and thousands of applications, apps. People need to be wary of a lot of these apps.
Most definitely, not only for Android, but also for iPhones. It's been found in the past that they've had apps that actually track your location or what you do. So do some research before you actually download these.
Okay, when you're working on the computer, a lot of times something will just pop up, pop-up ads or links and images to video, and you're curious. It kind of entices you a little bit. What advice do you have about that?
Be careful what you click on. Also, while you're doing shopping this holiday season, many times what attackers will do is they'll try to push these bargains or ads up to the top. So make sure and just search from known sites, from sites that you actually know, and just don't click on things blindly.
But is there any way to really know for sure? I mean, oh, it looks legitimate. It's a company that I may have heard of. I mean, how do you know for sure?
You can actually, if you, there's various add-on tools that you can get that'll check a link for you and tell you whether or not a link is malicious.
All right, talking about downloading things, okay? Hey, download this video or this application or whatever to your computer. Again, you've got to know where it's coming from.
Yeah, you got to be so careful with that today because what people will do many times is they try to get you to click on a link or pull a download, and then they're actually installing a keylogger on your system. And then as you actually enter in your passwords or other information, they're capturing those.
Okay, number 6, and again, we're going to go over 12. Number 6 is don't fall for email phishing, and this is not phishing, F-I-S-H-I-N. This is P-H, phishing. What do we mean?
The big one there is they'll try to lure you in or trick you into something. Maybe they'll send you a text message or an email and they'll say, hey, click on this link and check your bank account. But they're not really taking you to the bank. They're taking you to a fake site, trying to get all your money out of your bank account.
How common is this kind of stuff?
It's very common today. Most of the cybercrime today is monetarily driven, so they're looking to try to get access to your money, your credit cards.
And the people, the criminals, the crooks really come out specifically during this time of year, don't they?
They're trying to make money too, just like everyone else.
And oftentimes, other times we see is when people are asking for donations and whatnot. I mean, that's when it's such a shame. Yeah. That criminals come out and try to take advantage of people when they're trying to give or buy gifts or donate to people, right?
Most definitely.
Okay, and you're going to stick around. Michael Gregg, a cybersecurity expert. We're going to go to break really quick, and Mike's going to stick around with us and go over the next 6 tips that you need to know. Cyber Monday is right around the corner. We're back after this. Quite a musical selection this morning. Very nice. Welcome back, everybody. We are highlighting the 12 security issues or risks or scams that are out there that cyber criminals are trying to take advantage of you and your money. We've got cybersecurity expert Michael Gregg here with us. We just went through the first 6. Let's go through 7 through 12.
Okay.
Specifically dealing with Mac computers and antivirus.
Yeah, just because you're on a Mac doesn't mean you're safe. Even on a Mac, you need to have antivirus and practice the same precaution that you would on a Windows PC.
You often see these days people sitting around at the coffee shop, using their computer, using Wi-Fi, perhaps making online purchases for a loved one. That's a dangerous thing to do when you're using a public Wi-Fi spot, isn't it?
Big problem. What will actually happen there is attackers show up with their own gear. They replace these stock antennas, and what they actually do is they put on this rather large antenna like this, and then they actually capture all your data. So as you're logging into something like Facebook or you're logging into making a credit card purchase, they're actually capturing your information and capturing this as you're doing your shopping.
And there's no way to know if that's taking place, is there?
It's very hard to tell, because they'll make it look like a legitimate hotspot.
Wow, okay, quite eye-opening. Number 9, you have to, so many passwords nowadays. It's like for every account you have, you need a password, and a lot of times a website will give you the strength of your password. You need a strong password because it's easy to rip those off and then get into your accounts or whatnot, right?
Most definitely, and what they can actually do is they use something called a keylogger.
Okay.
And this is actually a keylogger. So what the attacker could do is show up somewhere at a hotel, maybe at an airport club somewhere else, put this on the back of the computer. They would leave it and then leave it through the holidays and come back, and everything that anyone's typed in they're going to pull off on here, including all your passwords.
Wow, I mean, this is pretty extensive stuff. I mean, these people that do this kind of stuff really know what they're doing.
Yes, exactly.
And I guess companies would need to take measures to avoid this happening. I mean, I asked you before, is this common? But this seems like something out of like Mission Impossible. Do you know what I mean? But this happens.
That does happen, and the scary part is that's why it's so important. Use your own computer, use your own connection, don't shop from those hotspots, and if you do have to do things in public, tether to your phone, or if you have your own type of connection device, connect through your own connection instead of actually using that public or free Wi-Fi.
Okay, also number 10, make sure that your site that you're using is encrypted, meaning we see that HTTPS.
Yes.
S means secure, right? You need to see that S?
It means secure, and that's much safer than HTTP. If it doesn't have the S, everything is actually passed in the clear. You want to make sure any site that you put any credit card numbers into, any sensitive information is always HTTPS.
Can criminals, though, replicate that S?
They can, but that adds another step or makes it much more complex or harder for them.
Okay, you mentioned using a credit card online. If somebody's making a purchase online, compare using a credit card to a debit card. Big difference.
Big difference. If you're using a debit card, you're using your own money, and the laws and regulations for that are much less strict. So if there's a complaint, you may have to wait much longer to get your money back. If it's a credit card, you immediately can get your money back until the dispute is actually settled. So you never want to use a debit card.
Number 12, and we touched on it earlier, visit only trusted websites. Websites that you know. How do you know, though, if it's trusted or not, if you've never used it before?
Look for names you know is the big one that I would say, because one of the things attackers do during the holidays is they use something called black hat SEO, and they push their search results up to the top. So if you do just a search for something like iPad or iPad bargain, they push theirs up to the top page, try to get you to click on that, where you'll download malware or they'll steal your credit card information. So go to sites you know.
Well, it is a war, it sounds like, there in cyberspace with cyber criminals lurking, and we appreciate you, Michael Gregg, cybersecurity expert, for coming in to giving us some insight. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.